In the first part of the video here, we can see the camera zoom into the briefcase. This is the use of camera work, and we have used this to create a sense of importance towards the prop. This then shows that it has relevance as the main prop that drives the story forward. It shows narration significance. We then use a tracking shot of the character walking, but also it establishes the location by showing the road in which he has walked. We use some editing with the gate by having a match on action shot of the character putting his hand there. It then cuts to the point of view shot of the briefcase to once again enhance the importance of the prop for story. The wide angle shot is to show that the character thinks he's alone and is the only one in the shot. There's also the use of mise-en-scène with the character's costume fully revealed as a business look. There's also tracking of the mobile phone to show that he's anxious to meet the person as he quickly wields the phone. There is a slow camera shot of the sniper to build tension of what may happen next. This then reveals that he's not alone. The transition into the scope is the use of editing in After Effects, where we try to make it more realistic for the audience. It cuts to the point of the view shot, which is used to make it show the location and hit conventional ordinary situation.
The character looks around and is shown to be anxious to the audience. The point of view shot then switches to him falling to the ground to show the force in which he is falling down, and also for the tension to build. We then used a blinking effect for the point of view shot to show that he hasn't been killed but been hurt significantly. He was also able enough to look up at the person stealing the briefcase and is able to hear his phone being rung. This is left for a cliffhanger of him looking up into the cut into the titles. This cut is significant because it shows that the character is not dead, because we didn't show this here. The sound. We used diegetic sounds throughout the whole of this first part to create the effect that you were in the situation. This also shows the convention of an extraordinary situation in an ordinary situation. The diegetic sounds we used were a combination of the video sound and manipulated sounds that we collected. For example, at the beginning, the footsteps included both artificial and real sounds. The atmosphere sounds were also a combination of actual and fake sounds, which was like a farm sound. The phone ringing was the real noise that you can hear in the video, as you can hear it change volume as the character picked it up. The glass falling is also trying to show the power of the wind and how something was approaching. For sound effects we used were a gunshot, a gun reload, and breathing. These were used because they gave a greater effect on the tension building for the opening.
In the title sequence, we used the overlays of a film reel to create speed, pace, and also enigmas. For our titles itself, we made them move across the screen at a fast pace to create a sense of confusion and disjointment, together with a fast blur effect to create a sense of pace and significance. This is to show the conspiracy subgenre by allowing the reader to not easily understand them. The viewer therefore has to make judgments for themselves. This leads to a relation to later on in the story for the viewers to understand the film's context and conspiracy conventions. Locating the titles on the different shot types meant we had to put them in areas which they will easily be located to the viewer, e.g. black on white. Finding the dark areas within the shots helped position each title in the correct suitable place instead of the same position throughout. There is also repetition of the videos overlaying each other, as this enhances the importance of each object and its significance to the rest of the film. We wanted to introduce many clues which complicate the viewer into making many versatile judgments which may not be representative in a typical thriller-like genre. Creating our own style of genre through the foundations of a conspiracy thriller meant we could be more free with how we executed the title sequence, as many other elements could be identified. It then slows in pace to represent the film as not just being full on fast pace all the way through, but some lengthy dialogue scenes and complicated in-depth conversations between characters. There's a bright light centred on the CIA paper to show it's important later on in the film and the relation to perhaps the character. It also correlates with the title of the film, 2702, a date which could be significant to a certain event or action that may take place in the CIA team. Words pop out of the book to show that they could relate to the character and relate to each other. We are fronted with them as they come closer to the screen, getting you to focus on each individual word. We then transitioned into the date to show as it has a relevance to the story, and we leave the viewer with the title of the film, 2702. Finally, sounds for titles. We faded in the soundtrack to build tension, confusion, mystery and suspense. The phone links to the caller beforehand, unknown caller, which leads to an answer phone.
We're sorry, the number you have reached is not in service. Please check the number or try your call again.
The electric noise creates enigmas of location. Sound effects such as the pen, photo, breathing and paper flick were all used in the title sequence.